Hello, all of my second grade families. It is Miss Snyder here. I hope you guys all had a fantastic summer and got to do some fun things that maybe made life feel a little bit normal. We are going to go ahead and get started on this virtual orientation. I will ask that maybe you pause this and sort of go through the slides first, or I can send this out and post this just as a slideshow, and you can go and look at those slides first. I really don't want to read to you the PowerPoint, so hopefully you can kind of look through it and mark down any questions you have or concerns, and then when we do our one-on-one sign-up Genius Times, we will go over those questions more specifically. So I'm going to try to just pull out some of the most important pieces of information from each slide and go into detail with questions that you may have during the one-on-one time. So I am going to share my screen with you, and then you'll see me as a small picture. Here we go. So we started with, here's our first slide, Hyde Park School, Miss Snyder, second grade. That's right, they're not little first graders anymore, they're second graders. And our 2020 to 2021 school year, some years to never forget. You should have all received this Hello Second Graders welcome letter and the back to school folders that you picked up on Monday. My returning families, your paper should look like this because your children already had me and know me, so it was sort of a challenge for them to see if they could really remember me. So I'm going to go ahead and hopefully they've already answered it, and I will share those answers now. In the About Me section, teacher information. My teacher went to Miami University for college. Go Redhawks. She has one brother. His name is Andy. Her dog's name is Mila, and she is laying there on the couch. She just loves to snooze. I would describe my teacher as, well, that's something that they'll have to have come up with. I'd love to hear what they put. Hopefully they put that she's smart, that she's funny, that she's nice, that she's pretty. I don't know. I'll be curious to see what they did. My favorite things section, color. My favorite color is blue. They may have put pink. I like pink too. My favorite candy is Reese Cup. Anything chocolate is my jam. My favorite drink, I love coffee. Diet Coke is my other love, but I tried to limit myself to those once every blue moon. My favorite food is mac and cheese. So good. I am like a child. I love to eat mac and cheese. My favorite animal, I'm sure most of the kids put hedgehog. I don't know where this obsession came with, but I just think they're so cute. So hedgehog it is. My favorite restaurant, I'm going to keep it Cincy style and say Skyline. Gotta get a three-way cheese coney. And my favorite store, I'm sure most of them put Target. That is my go-to. And I'm surprised I haven't seen more families there because I live there. Just kidding, I don't, but I am there all the time. So hopefully that was a fun little way for them to kind of remember their teacher. Let's talk remote learning. So obviously we have been thrown a major curveball, and I want to try to make this virtual experience one that is successful, where they're working hard, and overall just a positive experience for learning. So the goal for orientation today is just to go over this slideshow. Like I said, hopefully you can look at it in more detail because there's lots of information. But I want to go over our daily schedule, just sort of the expectations, and then the resources that are available. This was also in your welcome back to school when you picked it up on Monday. It should have been in that folder. This is our remote learning schedule. So as you can see, it is pretty structured, which we're going to ease our way into it because obviously we haven't had much structure in most of our lives now for over 5 months. So I'm not going to just expect them to be following this explicitly. We'll kind of just slowly ease our way into it. We'll probably be starting with a lot of one-on-one things, but mostly we'll be doing a mixture of whole group on Google Meet and then small groups. And that small group time will be a great way for me to sort of go over really important information and get that academic piece going. We'll have some brain breaks in there. there'll be independent work time. And then at the end of the day, what I'd like to do is just kind of debrief and have that as a chance to just have kids share things with each other, kind of like a fun opportunity to end the day. I will maybe do a read aloud, just a quick little way to kind of say hello to your friends and goodbye, and what things worked that day, what things maybe they need more support with. And I'm going to do my best to follow this schedule, but please be flexible if things need to change. This is new for me as well. So as the kinks are worked out, things may change, but obviously I will make sure you are aware of any of those changes as we move on. Remote learning expectations. I expect students to follow the equal way, be respectful, have respect for themselves, others, and their property. That means that, especially the property piece, I know the kids are using a device from the district, and they need to make sure they're taking care of that and know that it is a learning tool and not a toy. They need to be able to be respectful to themselves by showing up to their meetings on time, having respect for others. When they are in a Google Meet session, they need to know that if someone else is sharing, it is their turn to stay quiet. If they need to ask a question, they use their signal by raising their hand. So just using our equal way to make sure that it helps us through remote learning. Attendance, a little bit different than the spring. We will be taking daily attendance, and I will be taking attendance based on them showing up and participating in the whole group Google Meets and then the small group Google Meets. So just like if we were at school and a situation arose, a child got sick, you would call the office and let them know, or email me and relay that information. I'm going to expect you to do the same. So you can contact Peggy. There is also a link at the bottom right here that Anne has sent out, and it's really simple. If you click on it, it will allow you to input your child's name, your name, and then their reason for being absent. So I know things happen, and if your child is unable to make it to remote learning that day, then please indicate that, and that will be great. As far as grading goes, a little different than the spring as well. It's not going to be a pass incomplete. Students will be receiving a grade on the different assignments that I post, on the different activities that we do during Google Meet. So all of those grades you'll find in PowerSchool, but this is something that's a little different. They aren't just going to be getting, they showed up, they get a pass. They actually have to do some work and have some accountability. Class Dojo, this is something I attempted to use last year, but we just didn't end up really, it wasn't a resource that we used too much, but I would love to use it this year, especially during remote learning. Class Dojo is really fun, and if you've got the app or you can get on the website, your child can see their points. What I'd like to do is maybe have them start by setting a goal for a number of points they would like to get, and I will be giving points based on their participation and behavior during remote learning. Just like if they're filling a bucket at school, complimenting others, working hard, I would like to sort of make their little dojo their bucket. So this will just be a nice way to encourage kids to be participating and working hard and trying their best so that they can receive those points. I'd also like to, depending on circumstances and everything, if they've met a goal, just kind of how like we have bucket ticket winners at the end of the week, I would like to come around and to your homes and let them choose something at the end of the week as well if they've met a goal. And that way it'll allow me to see them face to face and not just virtually. So hopefully we can kind of work on that during this remote time. Let me know if you have any questions. In the email I sent out last Friday, there was a link about how to sign up. Returning families, if you signed up last year, it should be the same information. I just changed the name from first grade to second grade. Websites and resources. So these are just some of the major websites that we'll be using. Obviously, Google through Google Meet. Clever, this will be one I'll talk about in a later slide. Raz Kids, I've got a Raz Kids account. I know that was something that I didn't have access to last year, so I have that, and Epic as well. we'll use iReady. This is our new district adopted math curriculum. And it's really awesome because they have the workbook pages and a lot of different things available online. I've sent the first module workbook home, but this will be a really awesome resource for us to use. Brain Pop, I may ask kids during their independent work time to watch a certain Brain Pop video. My class, we watched a lot of these last year, so they should be pretty familiar with it. And SumDog is another tool we used last year to help us with math growth. All of the login information will be on a sheet that you should have gotten in your welcome folder. It has login information for everything, and then there was a little note card that had a QR for Schoology and a QR for Clever. So let's talk about some of these important resources. PowerSchool obviously is where you can go to check grades and attendance. Let me know if you are having trouble accessing it, and I will talk to the office. Or you can call the office as well. Schoology, that's going to be a pretty major one where I'll be posting a lot of assignments similar to how I did in the spring. So your child will need to know how to access it as well as yourself. Now that they are in second grade and we are doing this remote kind of round 2, I am expecting the kids to sort of take more responsibility and log on to these things by themselves, especially because I know a lot of you are at home, but you're working. So I want the kids to try to be as independent about their learning as possible. So we'll make sure that they know how to use this and get on it independently. Clever is going to be one of our major apps this year. It's going to be where kids can access so many different resources. In my class, we used it last year. They were familiar with the QR code. They had a card and they would hold it up to the iPad and it would log them on. So I've sent that home with you, or you can also log in with Google and use their Google email to log in as well. What's really great is that once they are logged in, they have access to different teachers' pages. There's Miss Snyder, of course, the Hedgehog, Mr. Messerly, Mr. Schwab, and then they have some other important apps. They can get into Google Drive, Schoology. This is Zern, which I don't have Zern accounts for them. We'll see we'll see how that goes. But Brain Pop, this is the math program, iReady. So it will be really helpful because once they're logged into here, they can click a link like iReady, and they only have to log in once. So once they've done that, it'll sync. And so anytime they go to Clever and the future and hit iReady, it will already take them straight there. They don't have to re-log in, which makes life a lot easier. So there are a couple of different ways to log in. And again, we'll go over this during that one-on-one meeting time. Google Meet, this is a lot of information, so I'm just gonna briefly go through it. Because attendance is being taken, I expect students to come to Google Meets on time, both small group and whole group. And when they are there, they need to be engaged, participating, prepared, have their whiteboard there, ready to share or write down any information. I really want them to sort of pretend that they are in school. This is their version of school at the moment. So they need to sort of pretend as if they are there. And maybe at home, I'm sure you guys have already sort of started to think about how you're going to set up for virtual learning, but really be mindful about where they're doing their Google Meets and, you know, making sure it's not in their bed, but maybe at a table or somewhere where they can be very focused. And I will have a conversation with them as well about procedures, about muting themselves when I'm talking or muting themselves when a classmate is sharing. And then there's also a couple little Google Meet extensions that if you don't have, I encourage you to download. The one is called the Grid, and that allows your child to be able to see everybody in the Meet. I know they like limit it to so many people. So this is a helpful one. And then Google Nod, I haven't used yet, but I really am excited about it because it allows kids to sort of hit like, oh, thumbs up, I agree with what that person is saying, or the question mark, I'm confused, or smile, I like what you're saying, that makes me feel happy. So those are some helpful tools. One other thing about Google Meet is that there is an option for me to like give a Google Meet a nickname. So I plan on always having my whole group Google Meet, Snyder whole group. All your child has to do is when they go to Google Meet, that little, when they go to their waffle and hit Google Meet, all they have to do is type in Snyder whole group, and it will open and allow me to let them in. Your child needs, and we'll go over that more, but your child needs to use their login, their Cincinnati Public School email to log in, and they should be using the device that the school gave them, and that will make things a lot easier as far as just keeping it within district. Testing and assessments, I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is still a work in progress with the district, and there's a lot of questions that I myself need answered. But we are going to continue with the same assessments that we did last year, DIBELS, which we use to understand your child's fluency and how they're progressing throughout the school year. And I will be doing DIBELS one-on-one sessions, and we'll probably do those towards the start, the beginning of remote learning, so that I am able to see where everyone is. I know things have changed these past few months, so it'll help me to sort of prepare those small groups. MAP testing, MAP is the one where they take on the computer, and we will be administering this virtually. I am going to get some more information on how this works, but it will not be your responsibility to administer to your child. We will be doing that during those small groups or individual times. The InView, that is kind of that assessment that works on gifted and how your child scores. So we have not received much information on that. So again, as testing information comes out, I will be giving you that information, but not to worry, we will get there. Just some miscellaneous stuff. Homework, we're not going to assign homework. I do expect them to be reading daily, but they are at home learning, so that is kind of their homework. As if and when we return to school, that may change. If you are a returning student, we will probably continue with a spelling journal, and I might change it a bit, make it more of like a menu board versus they have to do a certain thing each night. So if and when we return to school, there will be some accountability for homework. Lunch services, if you or your family is in need of lunch, you can contact Hyde Park School, but it should be available to be picked up Wednesdays from 12 to 4. Let me know if you need any more information about that. My personal office hours, I'm going to do kind of a 7:30 to 8:15, 2:30 to 3. If you need to talk to me via phone, if you have any concerns, this would be a really great time to meet with me. And again, most of you do have my personal number, so if there's anything that you need, let me know. Contact info. There's my email and my school phone. Again, if you want to contact me personally, I can give that number too. As I said, there's remote learning in the spring. Most of you have my number, and if there's something that you need, feel free to contact me. I do ask that maybe during school hours, you just email me. That way I can quickly see it and respond to you as needed. Again, any questions you have, please write them down, and I will do my very best to make sure I answer those during our one-on-one time. Let's see, I'm going to stop sharing and make myself full screen again. I don't know if I remember, I think about my About Me thing. Did I talk about my new little Mila? She's been sleeping, and that's kind of her jam. She just loves to sleep. But I am really excited about this school year, and I can't wait to learn, whether that's virtually or in person or blended or whatever that looks like. With COVID, it has certainly allowed for me to find extra creativity that I didn't know I had. It has helped me to realize that I'm more tech savvy than I ever knew. And I know that things are challenging and everyone's circumstance is different. So please know I'm aware of that, and I want to do my best to support all of you in everybody's situation. I know that some days a child may just be struggling, and I get that. If there is an assignment that needs to be moved or turned in later, let me know. I'm flexible. I am here to support you guys as best as I can. And I'm really looking forward to a wonderful school year. And anything you need, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing you at those one-on-one meetings. Take care, everyone.